Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aisha, for those of you guys who are new. For today's video, what we're going to be doing is the first impressions on Lunar Beauty Moon Spell, as well as story time. I'm going to tell you about the 2 times that I met Manny MUA. So if you want to see that, just keep on watching. Alright, so let's get started. So we're going to dip into Lunar Beauty's Moon Spell palette. I'm going to try to use as many shades as I can. If you hear all that jingling and like little steps, that's my dog down there. I don't know why he's pacing. We just went outside. I don't know. Just ignore it, please. The very first time I met Manny MUA, it was at this year's Sephora event. For those of you guys who haven't heard of Sephora, basically it is Sephora's beauty event. Almost like BeautyCon, but it's hosted by Sephora. So Sephora has a bunch of booths of brands that are sold in Sephora. So that happened in LA this year. I flew over for the weekend just to go to Sephora, and I was really excited because I had seen that Manny was gonna be one of the people to go in there and have a meet and greet. So basically I was at Sephora, I was walking around, kind of doing my thing, looking at all the different booths, and then Manny's meet and greet was supposed to be at like 1, I think, something like that. I think it was 1 o'clock. So around 12 noon, I went to go kind of stand around the area where the meet and greet was gonna happen. Unfortunately, the people that worked there didn't even really know where the meet and greet was supposed to happen exactly, or like where you're supposed to line up. And 15 minutes before the meet and greet, like people just started lining up and forming their own line. So I just hopped into that line because I was like, well, I might as well, because no one seems to know where exactly we need to line up for this. And so I hopped in that line, and it ended up being the line to meet him. So okay, so my camera died in the middle of that early, but I zoomed you guys in more so that you can see more of what's happening. So anyways, the line goes by pretty fast. I finally get up to my turn, and I walk up to Manny, and he is like, oh my god, hi, how are you? And I'm like freaking out at this point. I like walk up to Manny, and I literally said, I was like, I am about to throw up on myself. I cannot believe that I'm meeting you. And to this day, like, I can't believe that that is what I said to him. He was just like laughing about it. And I was like, this is so crazy. Like, I've wanted to meet you forever. Like, you and Laura are the very first people that I watched on YouTube. And he's like, oh my god, that is so crazy. Like, I'm gonna tell Laura that you said hi. And then he was just like, oh my god, your makeup is so fabulous. And we take our picture. The whole meet and greet was pretty rushed because he could only meet like a certain amount of people. So it was really rushed. So basically we take our full body picture. I grab my phone and I'm like, hey, can we take a boomerang so we can get like a picture of our makeup looks? And he's like, yeah, of course. So we take that. And then that's it, I'm on my way. And then I was like walking through Sephora, and I see him walking up the stairs, and I just like tap him on his shoulder, and I'm like, oh, it was so nice meeting you. And he was like, oh, you too, baby. Thanks for coming. My second time meeting Manny, he came to San Francisco, which is where I'm from. He came to Macy's. This was actually not too long ago. This was like 2 weeks ago. When he announced his meet and greet, he did say that he can only meet 150 people. So I did make sure that I was there early to try to be the first 150. And it turns out I was in the first 25. I think I was like the 21st person. Macy's was having this thing for like certain members, right? So it was like bronze members or something like that. So I, of course, get my phone really quick and sign up for that. because the first 25 people in line got to do like this VIP thing. So I did it, and then finally we went upstairs to the VIP area, and what that meant was getting free champagne, getting chocolate, getting fruit, but basically the biggest part of it was getting to sit through an interview with Manny. So there was someone interviewing him, asking him questions, and after it we got to have our meet and greet up there, and it was private to only the people that were in that first 25. So it was cool because we got to have like a little extra time. It wasn't super rushed. So he's like, oh my god, hi, how are you? And I'm like, good, how are you? And he's like, good. And I'm like, so I don't know if you remember me, but I literally just met you at Sephora like 2 months ago. And he's like, wait. And I'm like, yeah, you remember I had the red pants on and the red eyeshadow? And he's like, oh my god, yeah, I remember. And he's like, that's so crazy. He's like, wait, in LA, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, wait, and you're from here? And I'm like, bitch, yes, I went to LA to go meet you. But anyways, then he asked me, he's like, please tell me that you do makeup professionally. And I literally start laughing, and I'm like, honey, I wish. And I tell him like how much like I don't even remember exactly what I said to him, but I said something along the lines of, I wish I do makeup looks on Instagram and I really want to work in the beauty industry. He was like, what do you post on? Do you post on Instagram? Do you post on YouTube? And I was like, yeah, I post on Instagram, because at the time, obviously, I wasn't posting on YouTube as much. And I was like, yeah, I post on Instagram. He's like, what kind of stuff do you post on Instagram? And I was like, hold on, let me show you. So I try to grab like my phone from the people that are working the event. And as I'm like pulling up my Instagram, he's like asking me like, oh, do you post regularly? And I'm like, no, I wish I did, but unfortunately, like, I have school and I have work. I'm like explaining to him like how I want to be in the beauty industry, but like my family believes in going to school and they don't really take it serious, and I want to do this, and I'm just like saying like, you know how the Hispanic parents are, and he's all like, honey, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Like, I know exactly what you mean. That's how my parents were when I first started. And it's like, it makes sense. You know, we all want to support our parents and it's hard, but we want to chase our dreams too. And then I finally pull up my Instagram and he starts giving me advice and starts telling me like which pictures are good, which ones need work, and like how I should have my backgrounds and how I should tag my pictures. And it was just so crazy that like we literally stood there for, I want to say at least 5 minutes, if not longer than that. We might have stood there for like a good 7 minutes, and I feel like everyone else was just like kind of staring at us like, can y'all hurry up? But like honestly, it was so crazy. I was so thankful for him taking a second to just, or not a second, but like a couple minutes to give me suggestions and kind of help me out. Like, I really appreciated that. It was really cool to have that moment with Manny and like actually have him look at my stuff. Like, it was really nice knowing that someone that has made it in the beauty industry and someone that I've been following for a really long time actually took a look at my stuff and like complimented me and really let me know that I am talented. And okay, so I did the rest of my makeup off camera. This is the look that we got. So let me talk a little bit about my opinions and first impressions on this palette. So first things first, this palette is, I don't remember how much I paid for this palette. I literally just bought it, but I think it was like $45 or $48, something like that. There's 15 pans in here, 15 different colors. This is what it looks like. It came in this sleeve right here. So the packaging itself is really cute. It's definitely really thick. It's not, it looks like a book. It has a mirror in it. It has a nice look to it. So it definitely has an expensive type of look to it. So for this look, I used 10 out of the 15 shades in this palette. I've used the whole top row. I used only Samantha in the second row. And then I used all of them on the bottom except Hermione. For the shades that I didn't use, which I did swatch them on my arm right here. So this color right here is Winifred. This is Sarah. This is Mary. This is Kiki. And this is Hermione. Now, you'll see over here, I did swatch Bonnie. And the only reason I swatched this was because when I swatched Winifred and Sarah, it was a little bit chalky. There was pieces that came up with my swatch. But the other ones were okay. But do keep in mind that Mary and Hermione are both shimmers and the other two are mattes. I didn't really like that it came up chunky when I did the swatch, but again, like swatches are very different on your arm than on your eyes. So across the top, I did use Bonnie, Marnie, Nancy, and then I used Paige and Sabrina. Of all these shades, I liked all of them. They were very pigmented. They were easy to blend. The only shade that I wasn't fully satisfied with was Bonnie, and the reason for that is because in the pan, this shade looks very bright green, but once I put it on my eye, it didn't appear as bright. I actually felt like it looked much cooler on my skin than it did in the pan. What I used on my lid in order from the inner corner to the outer, I used Samantha, Phoebe, Piper, and Fiona. And all of them were really great. They were really pigmented. They were easy to blend with each other. Something that was also really cool was this color right here, Prue. I don't know which that is, but I was able to use Prue as a highlighting shade. So I used it as highlight on my cheeks, on my nose, on my inner corner, and on my brow bone. So those are the shades that I used. That's what I thought about the shades. I probably wouldn't recommend this palette to beginners, only because the beginner friendly shades are really only Winifred, Kiki, and maybe Hermione. But otherwise it's like a lot of colorful stuff, and I myself really enjoy colorful, so I'm happy that I bought this palette. I personally think that if you're into makeup, especially colorful makeup, it's a good collector's item, especially if you really like Manny MUA like I do. So I'm happy that I bought this. It's not for everyone, of course. It's your choice. You can choose to buy it, you cannot. But overall, from what I used, I think it worked really well. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and follow me on all my social medias. They'll be listed down below in the description. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.